Hey everyone, Val here in my kitchen, and I'm getting ready to do some baking. So somebody a while back had asked me for a recipe for pumpkin pie, and I'm going to be making a pumpkin pie this morning. So I'm going to share that recipe with you, and the recipes are going to come from my family cookbook. This is the recipe that my mom used to make. So this was passed on to us through the family cookbook that I put together a few years ago when I gathered up a bunch of the family recipes. So I'm going to use my mom's pumpkin pie recipe. So let's get started. Come in and I'll show you the ingredients that I'll be using today. Now, bear in mind, I don't make pie crust. I'm not a big person for baking. I do a lot of cooking, but I don't like to bake a whole lot. So I've bought store-bought pie crust, and that's what I'm going to be using for the pies tonight. My mom, she'd have made it from scratch, and I have sisters that would make it from scratch, but I make mine from the store. So I just go to the store and get my pie crust. So anyway, come in and I'll show you the ingredients I have set out behind me, and we'll get started making the pumpkin pie for today. Come on. Okay, so here's the recipe. If you want the recipe, just pause the video right here and you have the recipe. I'm going to start out with the pie shell. Of course, I have the pie shell thawing back here. I took them out of the package. I'm going to be making apple pie too, so I'll post that video also. This is calling for a 16-ounce can of pumpkin pie. When I went to the store, I bought the wrong size can, so I bought a 29-ounce. So I'm going to use a little bit over half of this. We have a 13-ounce can of, evaporated milk. Oops, spilled it. Oh well. I have a cup of brown sugar, 2 eggs, a tablespoon of flour, that's there, 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, a teaspoon of cinnamon, this ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, and this is my 1/2 teaspoon of salt that I just spilled a little bit of the evaporated milk into, but that's all good. I'm going to just pour that into the pan. So this is the ginger and the cloves, and let's get started. All we're going to do is combine all of the ingredients into the bowl and get it stirred up. So let's start that process. Alright, so it's saying to just put everything into the bowl. Just going to mix my eggs up just a little bit here so that they mix a little better. And then I'm going to get a clean spoon to do my pumpkin with, because I don't want to put that spoon in there. I had the eggs on that spoon, so I'm going to get a clean spoon. I'm going to do a little bit over half of this can. I'm going to just put the other half of the can aside. Maybe I'll make some cookies if I can find a recipe that has maybe a can of pumpkin, or like a cup of pumpkin or something in it. So that's over half the can. That's a good generous portion of that can. So I'm just going to mix this up good. Take my dishes and dump them into the sink here so that I can go ahead and wash those up. let me get this stirred up, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I have an ungreased, about 9-inch pie pan here, and I have one of the pieces of the dough that was rolled up. I'm going to take this out of its package. It's thawed out. I have taken it out of the refrigerator, and it's been sitting out for about 20 minutes or so. So it's thawed, and this you really don't need to roll out or do anything with it. It's ready to go, as you can see. So I'm just going to kind of get it as centered as I can and press it into the pie plate here. This is the easy way to make pie. So I'm just going to kind of pinch it up to try to make a crust out of it. The edges of my pie here. And this is an ungreased pan. It said not to grease your pan, so I didn't grease this. Go along. What are y'all making pumpkin pie? Do you make your own, or do you buy store-bought? I don't make a whole lot of pie. I know my sisters and all like to do desserts, but my family doesn't eat a whole lot of desserts. So if I make desserts, it's usually when there's an extended family coming over. You know, everybody, all the kids, or if I take it to church or something like that. But I don't usually make desserts for every day at home because I would be the only one eating them probably, and I don't need all those extra calories. So this is a special occasion. So there, my pie dough is ready, and I've got my pumpkin pie that I've mixed up. Actually took a whisk and use a whisk to help to get it mixed all the way. So let me go ahead and pour that into my pie shell. And that should just about fill it up good. And I don't want it to run over, but I'm going to want a nice full pie. So let me see how this works out. That looks like it's good. I don't want to overfill it because it will probably rise a little bit. I did use a little bit of extra pumpkin probably in there. So I have a little bit left. Alright, I do want to try to keep the edges from browning too much. I think they should be, with this one it should be probably okay. So if I see the edges are starting to brown, I might cover this with a little bit of aluminum foil. But it's ready to go. It needs to go in a 425 degree oven for 55 to 65 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and pop it into the oven. And the oven's right behind you. So let me open it first. I'm going to pop it in. And then I'm going to put it the timer on for about an hour and check on it in about an hour. And I do have another pie that I'm going to be putting in here. I'll put this on the middle shelf. So I'm going to offset it just a little bit so the other pie can go in there. Hopefully it doesn't run over. Put the timer on for 60 minutes and see how it goes. I might put some aluminum foil underneath on the bottom of the oven. I think I'm going to do that just in case it runs over. So let's see how it goes. Okay, the pumpkin pie is out of the oven and it's cooled a little bit. This is what the pie's looking like. We're going to put some whipped topping on it this afternoon when we have our dinner, and we'll give it a try at that time. So this is what it looks like coming out of the oven. Okay, so we got me a piece of pumpkin pie I'm going to try here with a little Cool Whip on it. That's good too. Nice and creamy, not too sweet, and a good taste to it. Yep, that's a definite winner. Steve had a piece earlier.
It was good.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna eat that. That's good enough to eat. All right. Thank y'all for watching. Have a great evening. Give me a thumbs up, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you on my next video. Bye now.